So, we finished in the last class about the FPO, that is the typical food product controlling agency, right. So, this is under this class, that is dairy and food process and products technology. So, we will be discussing about the also other factors like hygiene, one of the major factor in the quality control, all laws governing the food laws. So, this hygiene and many other factors are associated directly or indirectly to benefit the consumer in terms of the safety and security of the product developed, right. So, FPO is one such organization, AgMark is one such organization who are given authority to certify the product, to certify the process, to certify the manufacturing practice. So, all are under that, right. So, let us look into that what are the laid down norms about the hygiene, right. So, in order to maintain hygienic production and quality standards, FPO, that is Food Products Order, has laid down following minimum requirements. What are they? They are like this: location and surroundings of the factory. Now, imagine you have a food product manufacturing unit in some locality where the surrounding is so obnoxious, it is so unhygienic that lot of odd materials which are otherwise very bad, they are associated all around. Then obviously, maybe directly or indirectly, it will affect the quality of the finished product from that particular industry. So, that is why the sanitary and hygienic conditions of the premises are very important. So, that is what the minimum requirement laid down by the FPO. Then personal hygiene, the people who are working in that, their hygiene also has directly or indirectly affected. Nowadays, if you go to some food industries, since the laws have become or standards have become so stringent, that you will see that most of the people who are directly associated with the production line, they are production or control line. So, they even handling also. So, they are all taking the personal hygiene, personal care, such that the contamination or any kind of impurity from the external source can be minimized. So, the law or standard has to encompass the personal hygiene of the people who are working, right. Portability of water. This is again a major drawback of our system, that water which is being supplied to the industry, that the industry has to get it clarified, get it purified, so that it becomes according to the standard or it becomes potable. Potable water should be given to the industry such that the main focus of the industry is not getting diverted, or there is no chance of getting contaminated or getting exploited by the water quality into the product being developed. So, these are the factors or these are the scenarios which again in the beginning we said policy, that policy makers they should look into that the water supplied to the company industry is potable water. The industry whether likes or doesn't, they have or it has to take that potable water and use that potable water. There is no scope that the water will not be potable. So, if we leave it on to the industry in majority of the cases because of the humanness of the people, that it may or may not be adhered to. So, the potability if it is not there, that will certainly incur some or other kind of quality deterioration into the product, right. Then machinery and equipment with installed capacity. In many cases, it has been found that the company X is permitted with a machine buying either import or local, whatever it be, that the certification or permission was given for such and such quantity, maybe y kg per hour, right. And the capacity of the machine handling this has to be minimum y kg per hour, but in many cases this is seen that this is less than y kg. I am not saying in all the cases, in many cases or some cases this is like that. So, the controlling body has to keep an eye that the machines which are online, which are handling, which are manufacturing the product, that should be at par with the capacity approved or specified, right. Quality control and facility and technical staff. Again, in particular in our country, this word that the quality control, facility and technical staff, this in most of the cases I say except some very big organizations or those are multinationals. I am not saying of course that locals are also not doing, many of them might be doing, but it is also true many of them do not have any quality control or quality assessment space or places and the required equipped or knowledgeable persons who are handling them. In most of the cases, it is seen if requirement is a food technologist, then this is being done by the maybe some chemist or maybe some even lower graded people, and who do not have that much vision about the both quality as well as the impact of the laws. So, this is another weak point of the in our country, typically industry level, that how the quality is being assessed or is being controlled by the people associated with them, right. In majority of the cases, the people concerned are not up to the standard or up to the desired level of knowledgeability. So, this is another weakness. Product standards. Now, product standards, obviously the company who is manufacturing the product will claim that this standard is such and such. Now, this FPO, as we said, is one such organization who will certify that yes, the company who has given, I just give one example, I am not showing the other side brand of the company, that this kind of, you see, this is it visible like that, right. So, here you see FSSAI, this name is there, right. Such kind of many, whether it is FSSAI or BIS, things like that, they are on the package depending on the type of package, depending on the product itself, that may be different, but it is there, and the standard of the product is claimed by the company and certified by this FPO or similar kind of agencies like AgMark, etc. Right. Then limits for preservatives and other additives. In many cases, as I said, the personnel who are handling or controlling the quality, then if they are not at par with the requirement, with the standard, with the required qualification, then what will happen? Will not understand, he or she will not understand the meaning of the limit of the preservatives, right? Limit of the preservative, how much it has to be a preservative, as the other day you said, say sodium benzoate. So, how much sodium benzoate has to be given? What is the standard? What is the acceptable limit? What is the approved limit? If this is not known, then how the person will control, how the person will manufacture the standard quality, because it is also not advisable, though if the preservative is at par with the approved standard, that can be used as much as I wish or the processor wishes. This is based on the standard laid down by the controlling agencies, and that cannot violate that quantity. If it is 200 ppm, cannot be more than 200 ppm. If it is 20 ppm, cannot be more than 20 ppm, right. If it is lower than that, nothing like that, right. And by the by, as earlier we have come across that maybe jam, jelly, marmalade came into as fruits and vegetables product, right. As such, jam, jelly, marmalades, they are high sugar and high acid food, right. So, high sugar, high acid food itself acts as preservative, right. There is as such no need for addition of any preservative, but again it is not only the responsibility of the manufacturer or the standard making agencies, it is also responsibility of the consumer, how consumer is handling that. If you just keep your eye open, you will see that those bottles of jam, jelly or marmalade or things like that, when they are opened and handled in mass, typically in messes or in hostels and in big places like that, mass people who are handling it, you will see that they are not properly handled. Now, if they are not properly handled, if somebody is using with a spoon having some water and that water is going into this, then there will be some local extra additional water available. So, obviously, the basic principle will be lost, and that may become vulnerable for the organisms to invade. And spoil or degrade the product. So, this is also the consumer who has to understand, who has to, it is not only the responsibility of the law making people or implementing people or the producer. It is also consumer who has also to know and who has also to abide by certain rules and regulations, right. I gave the right example that when it is in mass scale being used, that jam, jelly, marmalade, those containers, some people are using with some spoon which has lot of moisture, and that moisture is going into the product and in turn is affecting the quality. So, who is responsible for that? Is it that manufacturer or is it the controlling body? It is also the consumer who has to come forward. So, who has to be educated. So, limit for this preservation and other additives, that also has to be known both to the manufacturer. In this we are talking about the implementing agencies, law implementing agencies like APO. So, their people must be knowing it, as well the producer, their people must be knowing it, as well. I also appeal that the consumer also should keep in mind that has to be handled, that has to be taken in the right way, such that it does not unnecessarily introduce some or other source of getting contamination or getting infected or becoming prone to be infected, right. So, if that be true, then let us look into that. FPO, what are the food products other than those? Non-fruit beverages, syrups and sherbets, then vinegar, whether brewed or non-fruit, whatever be, pickles, dehydrated fruits and vegetables, squashes, crushes, cordials, barley water, barrel juice and ready to serve beverages, fruit nectars, again the nectars, right, fruit nectars or any other beverages containing fruit juices or fruit pulp. Now, in many countries it may be that fruit juice meaning absolutely fruit juice, pure fruit juice, nothing else is there. But nectar is such a thing where it allows, it permits to add required quantity of maybe water, right, required quantity of other materials, mostly water. So, some dilution is also possible in nectars. So, the moment you are adding externally, then it becomes your responsibility, because the manufacturer has given you according to the mandate, according to the guide, according to the laws, according to the order, according to the act, it is given. But you being the consumer, you being the ultimate user, you also do have responsibilities that we should maintain according to the laws. That is why in earlier class we said that awareness program or the awareness of the laws and its implementation, or if it is not, what are the losses, what are the other things which may be faced, that should be discussed or that should be known, right. So, other than these, jams, jelly and marmalades, that also come under it. Tomato products, ketchup, sauces, they also come under it. Preserves, candied and crystallized fruit and peel, these. Now, preserves, this means that things which are kept for extended life. That is what is the preserved, that the thing which is kept for extended life. Maybe some preservative is added to it, but the whole thing is called preserved. Candid and crystallized, most of the candids are crystallized, right, and fruit peel in many cases, like in marmalade fruit peel is used. For example, orange peel is used for marmalade. So, and that is called orange marmalade, and there this peel, when it is being prepared, the way it is being prepared, the way it is preserved. So, all these must be in accordance with the laws, in accordance with the guidelines framed by these organizations like FPO, right. Then other products which come under the umbrella of this FPO are chutneys, canned and bottled fruit juice, pulps, canned and bottled vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, sweetened aerated water and without fruit juice or fruit pulp, fruit cereal flakes, all unspecified fruit and vegetable products which are considered microbiologically safe and contains only permitted additives within permissible limits. So, these all come under the FPO, under the umbrella of FPO, food products order, right. Now, each container in which any fruit product is packed shall specify a code number indicating the lot or the date of manufacture of such fruit product. As we said, this I showed you. So, here you see that this product is having the date of manufacture, some number, lot number, batch number, date of manufacture, and nowadays it is mandatory that it is, if it is a sealed product, then there must be also the date of expiry. The date of expiry is a must if it is a sealed product, right. So, I just showed you one product just available in our canteen. So, from there I brought it, and yes, there it is, the date of manufacturer, the permitting or authorizing agency, that is also the name is there, or certifying agency, that name is also there. So, these things are part of the whole. No person can carry on the business of a manufacturer except under and in accordance with the terms of an effective license granted to him under the order of FPO in Form B, and shall not use the license number on labels of non-fruit products. So, you have a license of fruit products, maybe squash or some other thing, that is supposed to be made of the fruit. But if you are doing a non-fruit and using the same license, that is not permitted, that is not acceptable. So, that is against the law, against the order. So, that should be kept in mind. FPO mark should be printed on the label with license number. The labels shall not contain any statement, claim, design or device which is false or misleading in any particular concerning the fruit products contained in the package, or concerning the quantity or nutritive value, or in relation to the place of origin of the said fruit product, right. So, these things we have to keep in mind, that whosoever is the entrepreneur, that if suppose a product is being manufactured at a place A of our country, and when it is going to be sold in a place like B, for some or other reason A and B are not in good humor, then unnecessarily the product will suffer for some or other reason from the place it was manufactured A to the place being consumed at B. To avoid that, this has become a mandatory that the where it is being manufactured, that should not be a part of it, right. Misleading, that is false or misleading in any particular concerning the fruit products contained in the package, or concerning the quantity or the nutritive value, or in relation to the place of origin of the said fruit products, right. So, this should not contain in the manufacture, in the shell, in the container, right. Then meat products order or meat food products order or MFPO 1973, the objective was to regulate production and sale of meat food products through licensing of manufacturers, enforce sanitary and hygienic conditions prescribed for production of wholesome meat food products, exercise strict quality control at all stages of production of meat food products, fish products including chilled poultry, etc. The danger is that if the MFPO is not implemented, then the danger is that the meat and meat products being highly perishable in nature and can transmit diseases from animals to human being. This, if it is not adhered to, if the laws and orders are not adhered to, then the contamination from the animal to the human being chance is very high. So, that is the danger part. Some exclusions are there definitely if it is being consumed in restaurants, hotels, boarding houses, etc., then this can be excluded. The reason being they are supposed to take lot of care such that this kind of contamination is not there. Milk and milk product order MMPO is the objective is to maintain increase the supply of liquid milk of desired quality in the interest of the general public and also for regulating the production, processing and distribution of milk and milk product. Who can come under this act? Any person, dairy plant handling more than 10,000 liters per day of milk or 500 metric ton MT. MT is for metric ton. Of course, this ton has different connotations. Sometimes it is written TON, sometimes it is ton, TONNE, sometimes it is in metric tons. So, depending on the places, the same thing, but basically they are one equivalent to 1000 kg. Milk solids, that MSNF 500 metric ton of milk solids MSNF per annum needs to be registered with the registration authority appointed by the central government. The registration number shall either be exhibited prominently on the side level of the container or be embossed, punched or printed predominantly thereon or prominently thereon. Prevention of Food and Adulteration Act or FPA 1954, the objective was to make provision. Our time is almost over. I am just going through it. It is like this, that the objective is to make provision for the prevention of adulteration of food. Broadly, the FPA Act covers food standards, general procedures for sampling, analysis of food, powers of authorized officers, nature of penalties and other parameters related to food is being controlled by the PFA, or prevention of food adulteration. Purpose is, it deals with parameters relating to food additives, preservatives, coloring matters, packaging, labeling of foods, prohibition and regulation of sales, etc. The provisions of PFA Act and rules are implemented and by state government and local bodies as provided in the rules. Okay. Hopefully, we have come to the end, and we thank you for attending the class. Thank you.